I don't know. I never understand like how people can like work with that.
Oh, whoops.
I like run into YouTubers that are like trying to cash in on their fame, and I'm just like, how? What? You're just a dude that like plays video games. Like, there's some controversy recently over a female YouTuber making fun of McDonald's workers for not having real jobs, and I was just like, do you not understand that you have like the fakest job, and you should be really, really like thankful for that.
Just be happy it worked out. Yeah. Yeah, that was one where Stejo was talking shit.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh,
I didn't actually.
It's the guy who's constantly getting in fight with other YouTubers all the time.
Yeah, it was interesting seeing like just how much people were willing to like decry them for that, because like even Total Biscuit, well, I mean, not even always Total Biscuit weighs in on that, but somebody pointed out that like Stejo was a big fan of him, and Total Biscuit's like, not anymore, he ain't. And I was like, wow,
oh,
that is a good line, but also woof.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just
Drama's
it's such
dumb.
a weird
People are dumb.
case of punching down nonsense. Like just
Yeah.
a weird. It's a weird choice to be if you're a YouTuber to be all like, McDonald's workers should get a real job if they want to actually make money. I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah, do you not understand?
You're not like it's already a shitty enough argument when you're like a lawyer or something, but when you're a YouTuber, don't like go after people that have shittier jobs. Like that's not.
Well, especially because
that's not
with
okay.
YouTubers,
Well, yeah,
you wouldn't be able to have your job without the audience.
Our jobs are imaginary.
You're inherently doing a job that not everyone can do because it requires a specific ratio between audience and the people making content to make there be an audience for the content. So it's literally a job not everyone can do. And it's not even necessarily being a YouTuber isn't like an automatic decry of your amazing quality as a person. It's oftentimes a weird thing you fell into.
Yep, and I know what
Everything's
working
weird.
retail is like, and fortunately the job that I had that was, you know, minimum wage retailing was actually sort of up my alley. It was at a fabric store, so
Yeah.
people genuinely, well, I suppose you were working at an upholstery shop, right? But it was your
I worked at an
father's?
upholstery shop and I worked at Best Buy, which and then I worked in a cubicle and slowly lost my mind.
Yeah, I mean, Best Buy, I suppose you're surrounded by games, videos, and electronics, but
That you can't
don't
do anything with.
Yeah, it's not
That's
nearly
true.
as cool as you'd
they're
think
just
it would
boxes.
No, that's
Yeah.
true.
Boxes
I was
that people keep moving between days so that you look like an idiot because you don't know where they are and you work there. And I'm like, they moved him again. That happens to us too.
I suppose because I was such like a crafter cosplayer kind of person, especially because I'd be working at the cutting counter, people would always be asking for my advice on color
Yeah, I couldn't
combinations.
get bored of my lunch break
like,
and make video games.
I think the day I decided I truly was no longer interested in my game job was when I was on my lunch break and I was painting, like just a side thing, and one of my art directors came over and was like, "You shouldn't be working on that. Finish your lunch and get back to work." And I'm like,
Huh?
So this is your lunch?
What part of mandatory half-hour work lunch break do you not understand, Mr. Art Director that has been playing Monster Hunter for the past 2 hours?
When we were slammed at Best Buy, the management would clearly get frustrated with us for being on our breaks and on both for lunch and our 15-minute breaks, and it's like because it was like removing people from the floor, and it's like that's how like this job works, right? Like I get written up if I don't go on these breaks.
Oh yeah.
What do you expect from me? But they'd still act like it's unreasonable.
Were you working at Best Buy when they got caught for fraud for signing people up for the customer rewards plans, credit cards, or whatever?
Wait, what?
Or no, it was like the warranties. You know how Best Buy will be like, do you want like a two-year warranty or whatever? Apparently it was like a thing where a bunch of Best Buy cashiers, to like boost their performance, were just forcibly signing people up.
Oh
for...
yeah, we were always supposed to give numbers at the end of the day of
They were
were
just
you
like
able to sell
secretly
extra
signing
items.
people up without telling them.
Yeah,
and
and
charging
apparently
them
it was
more.
apparently it was actually like a national thing.
Wow.
Yep.
No, I never heard about that. I was working at Best Buy when Circuit City went under, so they were in the middle of panicking about that.
Ooh, yeah.
So it was really frustrating because they kept reshuffling how our entire job was supposed to work, like very, very frequently. Because it wasn't like, this isn't getting results, change it again. So like they were actually like micromanaging how we were supposed to sell to customers. At one point they had the most irritating thing ever, which was this idea of like the 180 pass by, which is the idea that you're supposed to walk past the customer, sort of enter their like personal bubble a little bit, then turn around, and you're supposed to have observed something about their what they're wearing, like their shoes or their shirt or whatever the hell, and then you start a conversation based on that. And then you try to work your way over towards products. I'm like, this is, like, first of all, way too artificial, way too many steps, and, like, way too irritating.
Super intrusive.
Like,
yeah.
this is this is a good example of literally all the reasons why people don't like going to Best Buy is because of how irritating the employees are.
I don't like going to Best Buy because I don't want somebody to talk to me.
And, like, going to Best Buy doesn't turn you into an asshole. Like, it's like, they literally, like, they train you and tell you to behave like that, and you get, like, written up. So I would mostly just stealth around it, and I literally never changed my strategy the entire time I worked there, and I was always just like, hey, you need help? You need help finding anything or anything? And just say garbage like that all the time, because I would not use any of the stuff they were telling me to do.
I just rather they have like a kiosk for every section being like, this is the guy that knows things about this area, ask him if you need help.
They do have it for the laptop area, I've noticed.
Yeah, and like, that for me, it's perfect, because I needed to find like a wireless USB card, and I found a guy, and I'm like, hey, do you have this? And he's like, nope. And I was like, that's odd, okay. And then somebody else comes running across the store, and he's like, I know where that is. And I'm like, oh, how? What?
I also worked there for a year and a half in the portable electronics division, and the entire time I was there, nobody ever trained me on how to deal with the entire part of the store that's about, like, car radios. Which was part of my department, and no one trained me in it for the entire year and a half I worked there. So I just was like, no, I can't help you there. I don't know shit about cars or radios. Yeah. I don't even know who buys them, but apparently people buy new car radios to install in the car.
I had a lot of friends in college that were like super down with modifying the cars, and I'm like, why? Your thing's a piece of shit. And they're like,
add 1 billion subwoofers. That's almost as good as having real music.
So I had a friend who
high school cars.
I had a friend who bought it was like a Subaru. I think it was a Subaru, like Outback or something. You know, like this nice kind of station wagony type car. Nothing too fancy, but it was used. It was old. But you know, it probably still had like a good 5-10 years on it if he kept it up. And then he put in a couple $1,000s worth of radios, custom seats, so on and so forth. And then his radiator blew and totaled the car because the car was worth less than the repair. And the insurance wouldn't pay out for repairing more than that. But since all of his stuff was custom done for his specific model, he had to go out of his way to find a new version of his old car, because otherwise his like custom fitted radio and seats and whatnot were totally useless because they weren't up to spec for any other vehicle, and he was like furious.
That's kind of amazing.
Yeah.
That's kind of amazing.
Like, you could have just like held off, done all this with the new car, and then not, you know, had this happen.
Yeah.
Oh well.
But instead, ruin yourself.
Ooh, I have a group event. Subdue and capture Yananka the Rat Wrangler.
Where?
Down here.
Oh, all the way down there.
I just talked to a rat about it. And I have 5
Wrangler
minutes.
of rats.
I'm gonna come. Let's see.
Wait, where is this supposed to be?
Yeah, there's a surprising amount of quests you have to do just in the little town we teleported into.
Oh yeah, Ebonhawk has, I believe, 1/3 of the hearts for the entire zone.
You're like running around in sewers, or you're tearing down propaganda and stuff.
Has helped us expand from our walls. We still have issues within.
I always feel bad when I'm running with the murder horde. If I have to teleport anywhere, I'm just like, well, bye. I just run off as fast as possible. Where are you going, Shell?
Yananka is supposedly on the map. It's pointing this way.
Oh, I thought it was coming down. Yeah, this heart that you were at is like the worst heart to do in the entire map.
It is the worst heart to do, but I'm trying to group event. Well, Yananka is already dying. I do not know where he is. This map.
Well, I guess Yananka's gonna die then. R.I.P.
Yep. Yananka is gonna be Yaganka.
Because I don't even know where he is. Like... Yeah, there's no way I'm gonna be able to get to him in time. I don't even know where he is. Why would they do a quest like that where you start it halfway across the map? Because it was a suspicious rat. The suspicious rat gave me the quest, but it was halfway across the map.
Well, sorry, Murder Horde, for running away for a
Sorry.
red herring.
I'll do the mine, help the foreman boss.
Yeah, we'll do
though.
the mine.
Now I'm just thinking about how much I hated working at Best Buy. They want you to sign people up for credit cards, so like... There was, I would almost never ask because it's like, it's an insane idea. Like, hey, you want to have a credit card based around just going to Best Buy? Like some sort of lunatic? But one time somebody said yes, and it was right at the end of my shift. And not even just the end of the shift, but the end of like the store being open. So like, I got stuck with this super long application process where everything was going wrong and nothing was working, and it was just incredibly tedious and time consuming. And meanwhile, the store is closing, so like all my other coworkers like cleaning up, and like I'm like getting glares for not helping with the fact that the store is closing up, but I have to deal with this customer. And I ended up being there for like well over an hour after the store closed, just dealing with this thing. So then people had to pay me overtime, and it's like, fucking nothing's working. This whole system doesn't work. Why do we even do this? And at the end, he got like declined anyway, I think, so he couldn't even get the credit card. And I'm like, I hate this place. I hate this place and I don't want to be here anymore. They had an insane program where they wanted to get into the whole best GameStop's like used market, so they started offering the option to like set it up so like you could sell electronics back to them.
Oh, yeah.
And, but they did the dumbest way ever, because like, at GameStop, you can just take games to Best Buy. I mean, at GameStop, you can just take games back to GameStop. Or games you didn't even buy there, it doesn't matter. And you just sell it to them. Obviously, it's garbage in that the prices are always like so gougy and awful that you should never really actually sell games to GameStop.
Why? Because they're gonna buy it off you for $5 and then resell it for 15.
Yeah, like they completely take away your money, and like it's just like it's never worth it. If you sell a game that just came out, like you for some reason bought a game for full price and then immediately are selling it, then you get like half your money back. But for all other things ever, it's like, hey, you want to sell this stack of like 12 games for $10? Like that's a real thing people do. They come in with like a box of games and sell them all off, and they get like a few dollars for it. But hey, at least you can just sell a game like just like that. At Best Buy, their solution was that you had to pre-purchase the ability to sell stuff back.
What?
Yeah. Try to even think about what that means. Like, you know how you buy like the warranty and stuff like that? It was like a similar price, but for a separate thing that wasn't the warranty, which was the buyback program. So you had to pay for the ability to enter into the buyback program. And it wasn't like a membership at the Best Buy in general. It was literally like a fee attached to that singular purchase. So you were buying products predeterminedly. You were buying products with the automatic assumption in advance, the moment you're buying it, that you're going to then turn around and sell it back to Best Buy later. And there was this big complicated spreadsheet about what percentage of its actual price it would be worth when you brought it back. If you brought it back like next year or the year after and stuff like that. And it's like, it was bizarre. And it was for phones, and it was for games, and it was for consoles, and it was for electronic devices, and like it was incomprehensible to try to even explain to a customer the idea that they had to pay now for the option to later be able to.
By the way,
to sell
interruption.
Back.
We are looking for Trillium Midwell. She should be walking around the city. So if anybody spots her, she might even be marked on the map, actually.
Who is she?
She's the guild bounty for the week.
A bounty?
Yeah, we got a bounty to go kill her.
Take someone out?
Yep.
There's guild bounties?
Yeah, so you know how we did the guild puzzle? Well, there's bounties, treks, races, bunch of different things, and
this is the desert gate. I wonder if this is what we have to go through to go to Alona.
Oh. She has been found.
Wait, don't kill her yet. Ah!
Okay, so Tommy is already found here. Where's Tommy? Oh, TommyCon. Okay, so she's actually really close.
Isn't this where Gwen and Karen are buried?
Yep.
They're from the other game.
Guild Wars 1?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think they're specifically from Eye of the North, aren't they? Don't kill her yet.
Yep. So Keith, if you want to head over this direction, we've got a cool thing. We're just to the west a little bit.
In the middle of town.
Yeah, you should have a waypoint directly north.
There we go.
Yeah, I'll be coming.
There's a waypoint.
Yeah, so we actually have a couple of these. We might take a bit of a detour to kill the other two because it looks like they're pretty close by, like places that we can get to.
An escaped cow, an escaped pig.
All right, so we're just missing you, Shell. We're just missing you, Shell.
I'm coming. I'm actually right behind.
AoE lightning knockback and tornado heals. Oh, tornado and heals are separate.
Yeah.
The dot was invisible inside the sword icon, so I'm like, what's a tornado heal?
Oh, that's who I saw.
Yep.
On the map. That was okay.
I'll beat the crap out of her. Use the bounty. Ow. He hurts.
No one told me they'd fight back.
I was like, I could fight her in melee. We've got enough people for this. I almost immediately lose like 90% of my health, and I'm like, well, not doing that.
I'm sure you didn't need that. You'll be fine. She's like not even moving right now.
Nope.
Probably too many status effects keeping her.
Is that supposed to be with tornado?
When she's spinning, yeah.
No, I mean, are those pillars supposed to be tornadoes? Because they just look like weird crystal things.
Those are goofy looking.
Well, I'm dazed.
That is not an effective facsimile of a tornado.
So, do you pay too much attention to like the
Ooh, I'm down.
hurricanes coming through, or no, not really?
I'm down. Oh, I'm dead.
Isn't there a second one happening already?
3. There's Jose, Irma, and then we had Harvey. Yeah.
Thank you, people.
And so,
wow.
I've specifically been paying attention to it because I was on the northern end of Katrina, and it took up my town temporarily, but
don't worry, everybody. Climate change is just a conspiracy by the Chinese.
yes.
Chinese probably are responsible for a lot of it.
For a short period of time, but they're at least trying to make amends.
Yeah, they are.
But it's not a conspiracy, is the important detail.
No,
it is a real thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny being asked about global warming and evolution as a geologist, and I'm like, yeah, as it turns out, I think the world's more than 5,000 years old, so yeah.
Yep.
Built into the whole parts were all the things I studied.
Training with the soldiers.
It is not, this is barely even getting hit in on them.
Is there an enemy?
This area was not designed.
No, we're just training with the soldiers, which means beating them up.
Oh. I was like, I don't see an enemy. I thought we were here for another one of the bosses or something.
Ah, another Matt Mercer. God damn it.
More Matt Mercers.
He is so he's everywhere.
It's the night of the million Mercers.
I was watching while I was painting
If I ever like meet him, like,
are you gonna be mad somehow?
No.
I want to mention it because I have so much exposure to his voice. Like, if I ever somehow manage to do like a D&D thing with him, I'm gonna be like, okay, I want every character that you voice as part of this to just be your normal voice.
What?
Oh no.
Just indulge me. I'm used to this by now. Let's do this.
He makes so many.
Yeah, I know. He's got like
different voices.
He's got wonderful voices, but he always is hired for his voice. His actual.
Oh yeah,
voice.
you mean he's always hired for his normal voice?
Yeah, like every NPC.
He makes a lot of really cool voices.
Yeah,
outside
like
of it.
his male Norn voice for this game is actually you can't tell that it's him. But like every other voice is just him talking normally, and I'm like, no, stop. It's just the Mercer. I don't want the Mercer. I want the, like, different Mercer.
On the bright side, if we ever need voice samples in order to open like a lock that's closed by his voice, then we're set.
Yeah, if we ever have to, if we ever have to get his voice sample for Prey, we're golden. I got so lost during that section of Prey. I was just like, wait, why am I doing all this like random stuff and like learning about this lady's life, and then it's like, oh yeah, voice lock. Whoops.
That was such a cool idea for a quest, partly because it highlights the idea that the entire point of evidence of what your behavior should be in that game is a copy of yourself playing back to you, and then the idea that, like, but look how easy it is to fake is what you're doing as part of the main story.
That game was kind of a masterpiece. I just really wish Bethesda didn't publish it.
It's been a bloody slog.
I just don't like Bethesda.
For any help you could give us.
Yeah.
What other games are they responsible for?
I mean, Fallout and Skyrim. Or Elder Scrolls.
And now Doom.
Wolfenstein
And
and
Quake.
Doom and Dishonored and Quake. Yeah, they've got some great IPs under their umbrella. It's just, I hate Bethesda.
Yeah.
What was that bad Martian game that you guys
They
are
love
playing?
anti-consumer practices. They're just not a great. They're not a great company to root for. They do not have your interests at heart, audience.
Like, people keep asking me to play Fallout again, and I'm like, I don't think I can at this point. Like, it's kind of impossible for me to want to.
Fallout 4 is not a mechanically interesting game,
Nope,
which is kind
the
of
mods
the
made
death
it
for
cool,
which is
but-
kind of the death for an open world game. It's like your experience completely hinges on the mechanics that you're employing being interesting, but like the moment you start that game, it's just they basically just want you to start wandering around and scavenging buildings basically and clearing them of one of 3 enemy types, and then by the end of the game you're still doing that.
Wait, where are the Vanguards
And that was the
going?
experience of playing Fallout 4.
Yeah, Frost, I think, was kind of the height for that game, which is a mod.
Yeah.
But it turned it
Somebody
into
had
Metro.
to retroactively add mechanics to the game so that it was a
Yeah.
video game worth playing,
Yeah,
as
it
opposed
made
to
it if
just
you
a
were-
place to wander around in.
It made it so, like, if you were on the surface, you'd start taking radiation damage if you didn't have, like, if you didn't have a gas mask, and, like, everything could kill you in one shot, but you could kill everything in one shot, so it's like, can I do this? Will I get, like, totally killed for this? And, I don't know, it just felt really good. The other problem is, every time they'd update either Skyrim or Fallout, it would destroy my entire playthrough. And I got so sick of that.
Oh, you'd be like mid playthrough and then it gets updated and then your playthrough just dies because the
Yeah.
mod breaks and that leads to your like save breaking or something.
Yeah, all of my mods would break practically weekly, because they'd be like, "We've updated the game with what? Localization fixes." But because of version control, it just destroyed the whole game. And it's just like, well,
Yay! We had to correct that spelling, so your playthrough's over now.
yeah. Like usually it was just minor stuff, but apparently,
Yeah.
apparently their whole creators program has destroyed modding for a lot of people. Like mods just don't work anymore. Because
Great
they changed
idea,
how-
Bethesda. It's not like that's the entire lifeblood of your games having a reason to be played anymore. Let's just not embrace that at all and actively sabotage ourselves. I mean, to be fair, no matter how much they kneecap themselves, they somehow manage to keep doing better and better sales-wise all the time, so clearly people like not good things.
So are people just trying to incite war with the Char? And that's why
Well, people are racist.
they're separatists.
Why are people following me? I mean, it's kind of fun playing with, like, a large horde of people.
I mean, the primary answer is because Wander streams.
Also that, yes. Yeah, if it weren't for me actually having, like, an audience here, I would be very much alone in playing this.
It's because Wander streams and because Wander's playing a game where everybody in North America can be in the same place.
Yes. Well, I mean, even European players can join, they just have to be on the server.
I just mean that as opposed to World of Warcraft, where you have to
Yeah.
basically be on the right server.
Yeah,
you
specifically?
can't go on another server, can
Yeah,
you?
you can matchmake cross-server, but you can't follow us around in the open world, really. At best, you'd have to be in the party or something. I think being in the party cross-server would let you spawn in the same instance, but aside from that, like, there's no way to do this. Like, this is a specific case where the audience can just be like, I see you're there, I'm there now. And then that's it.
it's fun. It is really enjoyable doing social events with people occasionally.
It's the answer finally arriving to the constant question that happens when you're streaming, which is, hey, can I join?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Somebody really desperately wants to be our third for Destiny 2, and I'm like, no.
This suspicious rat seems to have been trained to do reconnaissance.
So not everybody has the ability to fly. Oh, man. Not everybody has the ability to fly, like I do here. And so there's just a pile of corpses on top of a roof.
Oh no!
Ruh-roh.
Because they decided
Because they all
to
jumped
jump
after
off.
you like
Yeah,
lemmings?
it's great.
If your friends tried to jump off a cliff, oh, I guess they would. Whoopsie. Whoopsie.
Okay.
This is also an unusually random person-friendly game because you can all go to the same zone and you'll scale to it. So everyone everyone can join the same party in the same instance despite being on different servers and so on, and you can also play together despite being different levels. So it's the most friendly to the idea of your audience joining you during a stream that I've ever seen, really. And
The only other
most
game that would
importantly,
be...
they can't fuck it up. It's not like Factorio or something where like letting the audience in can like just set the whole thing on fire.
Yeah, the only other game I think that would be as friendly as this-ish would be, well, maybe? I don't know. I don't know how friendly, Elder Scrolls Online would be. But...
The thing about that one is you actually have to talk with the quest givers and make decisions and stuff.
yeah. So, it would be friendly in terms of, like, being able to play with anybody. It would be unfriendly in terms of the actual content of the game. It'd be very stop-go.
I still want to do Perfect World, but I'm worried that the audience will just scream spoilers at us the entire time instead of us actually solving any of the quests.
I don't think we'd have too much to worry about. People tend to be mostly polite, or at least my moderators are pretty damn good about shutting down people the moment somebody tries to spoil. Because I've managed to make it all the way through 115 episodes of Persona 5, and apart from my own observations, I have no idea how the game's gonna go. And I'm perfectly happy about that.
That was a big thing where like I was happy that I pre-recorded like dozens of episodes with Andrew of 999 before any of it aired, because whenever we question anything, people like their immediate response is to shout out spoilers of things that won't happen for like another 10 hours. It's like, psych, we're still ahead of even that point in our recording, so you still haven't spoiled our playthrough, but also what's wrong with you? How do you not understand the basic etiquette of like how that ruins the series if you expose the wrong information to us in this mystery story? It's actually it's interesting how much the list of reasons can grow sometimes about why a lot of YouTubers don't read comments.
Yes.
It's like at some point, like not reading comments on some playthroughs is like just a defense mechanism for not ruining the playthrough, because like commenters can literally ruin it. Like I just like when I was playing Mist and Riven, I just didn't read the comments, and right now I'm not reading the comments to Ocarina of Time because like the audience will definitely ruin those playthroughs and defeat the purpose of me even doing a blind playthrough in the first place, because it will just cease to be blind when they spoil every element of the game.
So were you guys jumping around the rooftops for the vista? Is that what was going on?
Oh, I jumped off the vista and landed on the rooftops.
Because I need to get up to the vista.
You have to approach from the western side. There's a series of ledges that you climb up there.
Okay. Yeah.
People were not wrong when they said that the AI was bad for the summons.
Yeah, they get stuck on stuff and they can't figure it out.
Not even stuck. Like, they don't have the basic AI that World of Warcraft's like hunter pets do, where they just attack the thing you're fighting. They like.
Yeah.
I'm engaged in combat. My summons will actually just stand there next to me doing nothing, and I have to like I have to run up to the enemy so they get dragged into like aggro range and actually fight it. Otherwise, they'll just sit out the whole fight. I'm just like, no, that's not how this is supposed to work, man. Your summons fight things. And I don't think there is a sick the summons on your enemy button. Which is like the easiest way to fix that problem. And there's also a thing in WoW, like I think when you have a hunter pet, there's like you can just click the auto attack button for your hunter pet, and they'll start fighting your target.
So I'm on the western side. And I'm just met with walls that I can't climb. What's up here? Oh, there's a stairway. This is the stairway that you were on. What?
Oh, good. Do any of you guys have the middle south heart, or no?
Middle
south?
Yeah. It's Hauteclaire Vale. Because if you don't have it, you probably want to get down here ASAP, because there's actually an event. Because this one sucks.
Oh, yes.
This one sucks so hard.
That was a fast heart.
You just have to, like, go grab the scrap, but, like,
Wait, is this Vista on top
I
of
just
the
finished it in one wave here.
Yeah,
it's so much easier.
I don't know if they patched it since you last saw it or something like that, but that scrap respawns in, like, 5 seconds.
It does, but it's
painful. So you can just stand still and click on it over and over again, and then just turn it into the woman. And it's like, it was actually like weirdly brief.
Okay, I'll come over for it.
Oh, these hyenas do not count as pets.
I just have waves of like 10 ogres charging me at a time, if not more, and it's just like, let's go stand next to them while swinging hammers around, and it just wrecks people. Actually, on the oh, and there's in fact multiple. The first, the more prominent one of people actually asking to play with me has been my co-op of Dying Light with Bird, where people are like, when you guys play this so I can join you, and I'm like, we're done. We've been done. This is a pre-recorded
but
series.
also people like finishing objectives off camera is not really good for a series.
Well, no, they wanted to join us for the series. Had another. I don't know, do you get a whole lot of comments from, like, new YouTubers or YouTubers that haven't even started yet, being like, I'm gonna start a channel, like, this week, can ya...
Yeah. There's always people that are like, I haven't even bothered putting in effort yet, but can I get a shout-out / can we collaborate? And I'm like, who are you? Why would I collaborate with you if I don't know who you are and you have no channel to speak of for me to reference to? And why would I give a shout-out to somebody I don't know who also doesn't put any work in themselves? Like, it's like the definition of entitlement, to feel like I deserve to be given attention by your audience.
Usually they're pretty polite, but I'm just like...
They're polite, because they're trying, like, that's like their phrase they use on everybody usually, like, they're not, like, actively being like, I deserve this and how dare you and stuff like that, but it's still just like, dude, you have not done anything yet. And you want a trophy already.
Speaking of the phrase that they use on everybody, I got a ViewBot like service advertising on like my videos, and they're like, hey, I noticed your channel is growing and that's great, but it's not growing fast enough, and so I had the same problem, but then I talked to a friend and she was she's building her advertising service, and
I've had that before.
And I used it, and wow, my channel just exploded, and I look at them, they have 4,000 subscribers and cumulatively about 3,000 views, and I'm like, you bought a bot farm.
Wait, this is Bloodstone stuff.
Yeah, I don't know what this is.
Hey, your I know how to make your channel grow faster. We'll give it an imaginary audience that doesn't watch your videos. That works. Oh, wait. That doesn't make any sense.
That's the problem. Like, subscriber counts, especially from, like, bots and stuff, they seem to inflate a channel, but they don't actually help it.
Oh, yeah. Keith, were you kind of there when one of Pocket Pack's friends was trying to recruit him for his channel?
I don't know.
The guy... Okay, the guy
I barely ever actually knew Pocket Pack. He was in like a couple of Gmod sessions, then disappeared.
Yeah, well, he started streaming really aggressively, and we had trouble inviting him because he'd actively talk only to his audience, and it was like, please stop doing. But then he quit. But so he had a friend who was like trying to put together a Yogscast type thing, you know, like a big group of people, and they're all going to do Minecraft together. And I was like, okay, I can kind of respect this. And then he's like, should I do it? And I look at his channel, I'm like, no, you shouldn't. This guy's view botting all over the place. Because, like, his videos would have, like, anywhere from 10 to 700 views or more. And it's just like, you do not want... You really don't want that.
You can benefit so much from their pretend audience. Who wouldn't want to sign up for that deal?
Where are the ogres on this?
They're further north by the looks of it.
Oh, here we are.
Yeah, I'm always bothered by people asking for me to advertise their channel on my channel. It's like, I don't know you, man.
Can you check the connection on your mic? You are actually getting kind of ropey.
I've seen my stream go red a few times.
Oh, it might just be your internet shitting? Yeah.
My internet's just getting worse lately. It's been great. Hooray. Just in time for us to start doing Guild Wars.
But back to the topic of the hurricane. I don't know why we tangented, but...
Oh my god, that was a while ago.
Yeah, that was a while ago. But I know a couple of YouTubers in Miami, and I'm like, you should probably really leave, like, now. Or soon.
I think airlines have actually been providing $99 flights.
Some have, some haven't. Delta has been providing $700 flights to...
700?
Yeah, to... what's the... Atlanta. Yeah, $700 flights to
over?
Yeah,
Come
to
on.
Atlanta, which is insane.
People could drive there.
Which is, you know, awful. But JetBlue has been doing $100 max flights, which, I mean, I think that's reasonable. Still kind of profiteering, but definitely, like, actually reasonable as opposed to... I don't know, I just hate it when people are like, oh, sweet, an emergency, let's try and make as much money as possible off of this.
And they start doing, like, illegal price gouging and stuff.
Yeah, so we had some pretty hefty blizzards going through, some really hefty blizzards going through, Boston when I lived there. And, the price of just bottled water, quintupled. And ultimately, it wasn't even a bad blizzard, but people were just buying it regardless, and it was awful.
There's a really weird thing in this game where there's a really weird thing in this game where if you double click on a piece of equipment, it'll automatically equip into your second slot instead of replacing your current piece of equipment. And it's like I'm literally replacing a staff with a staff. No, I don't want to put it in the second slot.
Yeah. I've noticed that for rings. If I have like a level 20 ring and a level 35 ring, and I want to equip a new level 35 ring into the 20 ring slot, it's going to take up my other level 35 ring. It's like, no, I have 2 ring slots. I want the higher level.
It would be nice if it just had the base AI of, like, equip best.
Did I get that heart? Yes, finally.
How do I get to this Vista?
I have 2 more hearts. They're up over by the Field of Ruin, but only over to the east. I have, just that Vista over there.
At this point, I'm just doing the the Ogre Wars mission. Or event.
Oh, you guys are all here now.
Yeah.
One of you with me. The rest
We've like weirdly reconvened.
I'm oh yeah, you probably want to be here. The rewards for this one are good.
Okay. Yeah, I already completed the heart and stuff up there though.
Yeah, but it's Ogre Wars.
Yeah, Ogre Wars.
A hot new reality television show. Airs after Duck Dynasty.
Ogre Wars gives good shit. I hope like kind of MMOs come back I mean, they haven't gone anywhere, but like for a while, MMOs were kind of like the main thing, and I think at this
too
point,
many of them launch and then fail.
well, yeah, and like I hope at some point, big
Everyone
studios
remembers
do actually.
Tabula Rasa.
Yeah, Tabula Rasa.
The game that lasted less than a year before the servers were taken down.
Tabula Rasa, WildStar. I actually really wanted to get into Tabula Rasa because it was also an NCSoft game, I think, and
yeah,
at the
it
time,
looked really cool. Wasn't it their like take of sci-fi? They were getting into sci-fi with it. I wish there were more sci-fi MMOs.
yeah, there was also oh shoot,
I mean, there's just only so much audience to deal with for the entire genre, and everybody was trying to hop on the WoW bandwagon because it was the hot new thing.
yeah,
I think the other problem is too, people play MMOs for community, and if you have to uproot your community and go elsewhere, then
yeah.
there are some people that will follow each other into new games if an old game
The
is...
social ties will constantly drag you back to the same game over and over again.
Yeah.
I know
just hope
so
it's
many people that constantly go back to WoW over
Yep.
and over again, and like I have multiple people in the house that I live in that like don't seem to particularly. The way they talk about WoW doesn't even always sound like they like it anymore, but they just keep constantly do it because they have a guild and like they'll meet up at BlizzCon together and stuff like that.
BlizzCon must be a lot
All right,
of
there's a
fun.
big ass chest at the back. We should go get that.
Yeah, usually these doors don't open unless you complete this.
Yep.
So...
Yep, they don't. I always forget about the big ass chest.
Big ass chest.
Big ass chest.
Yay!
Despite the fact that I have massive inventory space at this point, my
I'm
inventory
starting
is
to-
my inventory is 100% full.
I need to find the way to this vista.
Oh, you have to jump over a fence and go out and around. Actually, you just jump on this. See here? Whoop. Yeah, you found it.
Okay. Oh boy, I have so much stuff.
Yeah, it seems you specifically have to get to the top of the mountain first, because the other fences you can't jump over.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I got this.
I have to go this way.
Yeah. But I don't know. I'm just hoping some kind of MMO comes out with like this event system, but like a little bit more team play. I guess really, if you could mix like
Might and glory.
I don't know. Let's see when Destiny 2 comes out. For us. I've heard good things about Destiny 2's story. I don't know about the end game.
I mean,
guess
that won't
most
be an
people
MMO,
don't know
will
about
it?
the end.
Or did they suddenly make it an MMO?
Well, I mean, you played Destiny 1. There was kind of like open worldy stuff that you could play with
Yeah,
people.
but there'd be like 6 people there,
Yeah.
and that'd be the entire instance.
I think it would be cool if it was still like mostly empty, but every once in a while you'd have like a world boss show up and then like every server in that area would like kind of converge and you'd have like 50 people fighting this like insane thing. That'd be cool.
What I kind of want to see is just more innovations on what massively multiplayer concepts even are, like PUBG.
Yeah, sort of. I'm so sick of
If
competitive.
if you think about the most popular game, possibly the most popular game in the world right now, is a 100-player multiplayer match,
yeah,
which is technically more massively multiplayer than MMOs usually are in their given actual player experience.
yeah. I saw your Steam Spy thing last night. And I was like, that is nonsense.
Yeah,
I just wish
you can see that the other two spikes are GTA 5 and Fallout 4, and like just how gargantuan compared to that PlayerUnknown not only started out at being, like it was immediately bigger than either of those games ever were on Steam, but has actually only gotten bigger. It's been bizarre.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that graph that you had shared. That was interesting to see what the most played games on Steam were.
Yeah, and then the same thing happened with Pokemon Go. It's just that, like, when something comes out that people aren't used to hearing about as a video game idea, then they're like, oh, I want that. I
We've
want
seen
people to
so
think
many
of things
people
that I haven't done
gathering.
before.
We see people gathering around the apartments or in parking lots, and it's clear they're playing Pokemon Go.
Oh yeah, we have a Pokemon Go stop right outside our apartment, and we will frequently see people.
I haven't seen them lately, so maybe it changed, but
Or they just got bored when they realized Pokemon Go doesn't really have mechanics.
No, I saw them a couple days ago when we got the mail.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I suppose they're still dedicated.
I mean, it's not nearly as popular as it used to be, that's for certain, but it is still very much a thing, from what I know of.
Pokemon Go Con. Oof.
Yeah, that didn't look good.
Did you watch the compilation video of all the stuff that happened there?
I tried, it was painful.
Wait, what compilation of what?
They had like
they did a convention for Pokemon Go,
Okay.
and it was a disaster. I guess they didn't test it or didn't realize what was going to happen, but basically nobody could play it the entire time.
Yeah, so they had a bunch of people that were like trying to play Pokemon Go and like angrily tapping on their screens, being like, "Why
Where
won't
the
it
entire
work?"
point was to play Pokemon Go. Like they set up a location that was like a big open field, and you're supposed to have like a bunch of Pokestops and gyms and Pokemon to catch, and it was going to be a special event where rare things were going to be around, and nobody there could play the game, and they like paid for tickets and a lot of them had traveled like across the world to be there, and it's literally like it's a convention thrown for your most diehard fans, and you screwed it up so badly that it's like it was already a game that was constantly losing its audience, and it was bleeding people off constantly. But then you throw an event for your biggest fans ever, and then you completely squander it and just do a miserable experience for everyone. Then like that's.
Did they promise them legendaries or something? Like they were going to have
already
legendary
losing
Pokemon
everyone
there?
off the bottom, and then that's how you help make sure that you lose people off the top. There's like a class action lawsuit against Niantic last I heard.
Ooh.
Wow.
Well, I mean, I suppose if people wanted to sue for the losses of like plane tickets and who knows
Yeah,
what
that's
else.
what it's for. It's like no, like the people had to actually. Like I think they refunded everybody's ticket prices, but it's like that wasn't even the beginning of the price for a lot of the people that actually went though.
Oh yeah. Did you hear about the Niantic snafu? Oh, not Niantic. The Conor versus the McGregor versus Mayweather, or whatever it was.
What's that?
It was a big UFC champion versus a big boxer, and
Oh,
it
the
was,
fight didn't happen or something?
No, it happened.
Okay.
But you know, a lot of people had to buy into it with they had to buy into it with, you know, like kind of a pay-per-view subscription thing, like pay $20-30 to be able to watch it. But their online services actually just couldn't handle it. So like a lot of the people that bought access didn't get to see the thing because it was.
You'd think they would at least record it so that they could show the rerun or something to make up for it.
Wouldn't that like be someone doing
I
a
think they
Kickstarter
did.
and
I
then
think they sent that out, but a lot
not
of people
delivering later?
Yeah, I think a lot of people were just like not okay with that as.
This has been like a year of like
replacement?
just total snafu events happening, huh?
Well,
So people didn't get to see McGregor. People went to the Pokemon Go event, and it was a total nightmare. And then you have like Fire Festival and stuff like that.
Wait, you mean the Burning Man thing?
No,
Well, that-
Fire Festival is the thing where everyone
Ow.
shipped off to an island like the Caribbean or something like that.
Yeah.
And then there basically just wasn't a festival.
Yeah, Keith,
And,
I
like,
don't know if
everyone-
it's your internet. Your mic might actually be having issues.
I don't think it's my
Could be.
mic because no one's ever talked about it.
Fair enough. Yeah, that's a good point. You'd probably catch that. Could you
It's
actually
like
send
the-
me your
Yesterday?
Like,
Can you actually send me your audio for this? Because like
Sure.
you are.
yeah, I'm looking at my stream having like red and orange and every bad color happening.
Yeah, because you are birding not as bad as Bird was in EDF, but I mean there are definitely some like birdie blips there, and they hurt. But yeah, I think it's one of those where the world's kind of modernizing in weird ways when it comes to technology. And a lot of these companies
Untested.
they just don't know how, because like half this stuff has never been tested before. Half this stuff is like, you know, who thinks of like UFC fights being a popular online thing? It really was like this thing you'd either watch on TV or in person, and so you know they're very much set up for that. But the concept of switching over to a very distinctly like online service is hard, especially with the multitude of different ways that you get to watch it. Like one guy specifically got banned from Xbox because he'd asked for a refund for his viewing because he didn't get it. And they gave him the refund and then banned him later because,
I wonder if what you said about my voice was actually on your end, because apparently your stream went down.
Did it? No, it just went down. Your voice has been fine for a little bit, but yes. Does look like my stream just blipped. Oh yeah, no, it's dead.
Yeah, all of chat's talking about it.
Yeah, I've been having that problem actually where OBS just goes to 0 kilobytes a second and then stays there. My internet's fine, but... well...
Is it because of the restream, or OBS, or something else? Because I know that you had issues with OBS recently.
Do you know when OBS does the stopping recording thing?
Yeah.
And stays there?
Yep.
Is that happening right now?
Yeah, so when that happens, it actually takes down the stream.
Oh, goody.
Well, I guess I don't need your audio after all.
Because everything's broken.
Yeah, it's,
Well, doesn't that mean you need Keith's... oh wait, but then you don't have Keith's footage either.
no, I will just use my,
Your stream footage. Yeah.
yeah.
So then you have to choose between good or bad audio in some ways. Like, you could... like, I could send you all of our commentary stuff, but then you'd have to mute the game in order to put it in.
Yeah, I don't know if it's a hard drive hiccup or what. It's super annoying though. Yeah, it might be a hard drive hiccup, which is obnoxious.
Uh-oh. We carefully installed that hard drive and everything.
And now it's betraying you.
I mean, it's the first time I ever helped anyone build a computer. It's actually funny because I actually pointed out a lot of things that, like, hey, those wires should probably go here, and it's like, oh yeah, that's where they go. Wander was trying to futz with the instructions and stuff. The instructions weren't easy to read.
I felt so dumb when I was like installing my my graphics card, and I'm like, I panicked because I thought I'd bought a graphics card that had the wrong connection.
Oh.
And then it became apparent that they're like graphics card connections, like you can like just snap them in half or couple them back together. Like there's a weird like I think it's like a 2x3 versus like a 2x4 or something like that on like little pins, and like you can like you can unattach them or reattach them and stuff like that, and that's actually how they connect. I was like, oh no, I bought the wrong thing, and it's like, because I didn't understand how that connection worked.
Okay, I've switched to another hard drive. I'm gonna see if this works, because yeah, I've had this problem a couple of times now.
It's a nightmare. It happened twice to me on I think it was 2 or 3 times, something like that on Zelda, and it was like, I don't want to lose my Breath of the Wild videos. This is my top series, damn it. I'm making $0 off of this, but I still don't want to lose it. Man, how much you dig in those Nintendo content creator royalty check freaking emails that's like, you made $2. Congratulations.
It does look like, super pleasantly, it looks like OBS is better at recovering your footage. I don't think I lost a thing.
Wait, suspicious bushes again.
Okay, yep, I'm back. Yeah, I think it's a hard drive issue, actually. That has been my main conundrum.
We'll have to look into it then, right?
Well, I have 4 hard drives, so I just switched hard drives.
4?
Yeah.
Okay.
That is a lot of hard drives.
Yeah. So, I will still be able to use your footage. Ah, that's good.
Goodbye,
Losing
Panic
footage
Attack.
is
You're
annoying.
gonna have to check your video, though.
I did. I already did. It leads up to at least 10 minutes ago, and if I lose out, like, on us complaining about your internet and Connor versus Mayweather or whatever...
You just may want to check near the end of the video to see if any weird stuff's happening, like when you put in the editing software, just because, like, we had a thing where that happened with Andrew, the whole stop recording thing, and then eventually it eventually did stop successfully. But then we checked back in, and like the last half an hour of the video was all garbled and losing its mind. And what it would do is it would freeze frame on one moment for like 5 minutes straight, and then in 3 seconds it would play out that entire like 5 minutes, like it would just all at once, and then freeze frame again. And it's like it was completely unusable and unsalvageable, and like there was no way to repair it.
It looks like
even though it
looks
had
like it was
technically
working on my end.
fixed.
Could
It was
be
the
wrong.
weirdest thing. So I had to re-record a chunk of it, and that just sucked.
Yeah, re-recording anything is really frustrating. I've been having that problem with Pyre. That's part of the reason why we had so much trouble recording it, is because I was going through a bunch of extra hoops to make Pyre work, kind of.
To make it work, or to make sure that you had like redundant saves or something.
Yeah, to make sure that I would not lose any footage, because you can't reload in Pyre. So if like I recorded for 2 hours of Pyre and then lost that would be actually just killer.
Yep. I was
And,
very lucky. Nothing ever went wrong with my entire Pyre playthrough.
Yeah, we've managed to make it the entire way through without a single technical problem, which is good. We had problems with Regalia, which had preceded it, which had brought on the paranoia, because we lost the last hour. We lost the last hour of the game. Luckily, I saved constantly so I could get it back. And like it wasn't so bad, but it was nightmarish. And in the end, the finale, the whole finale of the game was at about 10 to 15 FPS, because I literally could not get the game to perform better than that while being recorded. And I was just like, you know what, screw it, I give up, I'm done with this game, bye. And that just was the end.
I'm sure people loved that.
Yeah. People tolerated it, definitely. I mean, it was a turn-based strategy game. It would have been so much worse if it was like a spectacle fighter. Like, can you imagine trying to play Bayonetta, or watch like a Bayonetta series where the frame rate is garbage? Ooh. Or Sonic the Hedgehog.
So in other words, Bayonetta on PS3 when it actually came out.
Yeah, I heard that was bad.
Yeah, that's a game that originally came out on 2 platforms, and where one of them was just garbage, and that was the heyday of like when a lot of people learned about who Platinum was, and it was like the worst situation ever because they just had like a genuinely bad version of their game that never got better. Like, Bayonetta on PS3 is just forever bad, and it never got better. Like, that's so weird to think about Platinum.
It's not that uncommon. Their PC port of Nier is purportedly still kind of garbage.
I thought it was supposed to be good on PC.
It was mostly good, but there are some game-breaking bugs that are there and have been there since launch. So it's like, it's a mostly functional port, with some like critical issues that need fixing that probably will never get fixed, which sucks.
Well,
This is going to be
apparently their Bayonetta port and their Vanquish ports are great.
they better be. Those games are ancient.
Yeah. That's what happened to Tales of Symphonia, actually. The port for that was worthless.
You're disillusioned.
Oh yeah, that was supposed to have a really bad port, even though it was like an incredibly old game.
Yep. Yeah. You want to see a GameCube game run at 15 frames a second half the time? There you go.
Congratulations, you got punished for being a fan.
Yeah. Oh, hey, I'm done.
Take that, diehards.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm done with the area. Fields of Ruin are pretty fast to go through, actually.
You finished the entirety of Fields of Ruin?
Yeah, I've got one Vista left.
Wow. I'm not
I'm
there
only
at all.
partway through this heart. Wait, did I go to a... Aww.
I'm only at 73%.
I'm at 91.
I mean, I have the Murder Horde. Let's be real here.
Oh, there's some more separatists.
I do not have to wait for anything to die. Though, I really am looking forward to getting to the post-game content where we don't have hearts. It's mostly just events and, like, actual challenging stuff. Because then we will work together and the Murder Horde won't be a mild detriment to you guys.
Yeah, there was long stretches of when we were in the snow area where like all I could do was just find stuff I could hit F on because that was the only way to make hard progress because every unit would just be dead all the time. Or like those moments where I'd run up and down the same cave over and over again just trying to find a single living enemy for like 10 minutes.
I got a bunch of goodies for stuff that I can't use yet.
And fall to my doom. Hooray!
Feel the move before you strike.
Well, I'm 37 now.
That's good.
Gradually getting up there.
Yep.
Oh, 38. Timing.
Yeah, I'm just at 38 right now.
I guess this town just doesn't have a heart.
Nope.
Somebody should give them one of those for Christmas.
Nah. We saw what happened to the Grinch. He gave away all his shit.
And he died to heart palpitations.
Yeah.
Is
That
this stuff
movie
just
actually made me
really
uncomfortable because of
invulnerable?
how they usually illustrated that heart. I was just like, I don't really like that. I don't really like...
Oh, shit. I died.
That person's invulnerable. I can't do anything to them. That's so weird.
I haven't even discovered a bunch of the map yet. I'm a ways away from finishing the zone.
Oh, hey, is this another bounty? Oh, it's Trillium Midwell again.
Yeah, it's still Trillion.
Go away, event. I'm not here for you.
I mean, do you want to get her again, or...
Well, we'd actually have to get the bounty
I see.
properly. I'm currently stopping by town because somebody very nicely sent me a bunch of jewelry that I can't use for another 4 levels. And so it's like, well, I have to, like, squirrel this away, otherwise I'm gonna just salvage it and then... Thank you! Thank you for the cash money, I guess, because everything else is gone. Okay. By the way, if you guys have any, like, yellow items that you got from this map, they sell for about $1 gold a piece, which is
nice.
fairly decent, actually.
More Vista!
I still need to get the Vista in town.
There's a weird feeling of, like, going around in the branded area and being with, like, the pretty, like, normal char people, then going out and fighting the branded char people, like, you're the ugly, gross ones, get out of here! But I'm fighting them with, like, nightmare necromancer zerg creatures that, like, as if I'm any different from them.
Well, so the thing about those char is they've actually been tainted and corrupted by the dragon's evil magic, so they're no longer living anymore.
Whereas my magic's completely not evil and not a form of tainting at all.
You're just sort of recycling dead body parts for good? Question mark?
I'm sure their families are very happy with my behavior. My nightmarish behavior.
Yeah, I think even in the original Guild Wars, necromancy was looked down upon. And amongst char, like, any magic is looked down upon.
I mean, you either you live in a very, very horrible world in your fantasy setting if the common populace does not look down on necromancy.
Well, there are the cultures that have, like, necromancy and vampirism and other things as their main thing, but they're painted in a dark light. Like, oh...
There's just something inherently dark and revolting about the very concept of necromancy that if the average character in that setting is not bothered by its existence, then that means you must be in a very horrible, like, Diablo-like world where everything sucks all the time and nobody has time to be worried about the necromancers.
That just reminded me of the Oh No Necromancer song. That's funny.
Basically went like, oh no, Necromancer, oh no,
Oh,
Necromancer.
No, Necromancer. Yep.
Basically went like Necromancer.
I keep finding
What a
books,
weird
and I wish
remix.
that...
Because they had nothing to work with. One of the key verses is basically went like Necromancer. Like what? Because that's all he said.
Yeah.
It was one sentence, and they made a whole remake based on that.
Well, I think Bird said that the only thing he remembered about the song that he had written was that "Oh No Necromancer" was the lyric. So
Yeah. That's why the remix was so funny.
where is that vista? It has to be all the way up there. How am I supposed to get to that? Wander, can you help?
What?
How do I get up there? Is it a rock on that side, or is it a rock on that side?
I don't think I know how to disarm these.
It's to the west.
Oh, but I already...
You have to go all the way to the west. I know you're right there, but it doesn't matter.
Well, I did go all the way to the west earlier, and it didn't... Like, where to the west? Because I tried getting on top of these boxes before, and it didn't help.
It's like directly south of the hero point.
Yeah, you have to go to the edge of the farm. And the rock, the rocks themselves just form a ridge that reaches the ground. And so you walk it up like a ramp.
Oh, that farm. I see it. That's a long ways to go.
Yep.
Also, where is the hero point over here? Do I have to fall? Oh, I have to fight her. Fallen angel.
What do you do? Can you do something with these mortar shells to get credit? Or because every time I touch them, they blow up. And that doesn't give you credit.
I think you might be able to disarm them, but I don't know.
I think I lack any sort of way to interact with them. Maybe there's like an item I was supposed to pick up somewhere that lets me do something with them.
Okay, going to the rocks.
This game's so
can.
judgy sometimes. The game's just like, look at that shady Char over there. That guy's name is just Shady Char.
Oh, did I miss it again? I keep missing where I'm supposed to climb.
You haven't found the ramp yet?
Nope.
Just along the cliff face in the back of the farm.
In the back of the farm? Because I found the one at the front of the farm, but the one at the front of the farm is you can't climb it.
I think chat
Like
is
that?
trying to show you where it is right now. Like this.
I-
Go to
I've
Hero
been-
Shiroto.
I tried climbing that earlier and I failed. Which is so weird because I was jumping up to it, but it just wasn't working. There we go. Oh, that looked easy. I swear I had come here before. Meh. Don't like that rock. Go around. There we go. I can see everything.
Wait, where is he? What? It says that Hero waved, but isn't he down south? I don't know how to tell people are nearby or not.
He was probably waving to me because I was.
Yeah, but I'm
trying
on the
to
other
find
side of
it.
the map. Can I see him emote from there? How does this work? Does everyone in a party see each other's emotes text no matter what?
Oh, I just have 2 points of
Because I
interest.
assumed it was based on range.
Oh, the 2 points of interest are probably down there now that I think about it. Oh, they must be. I think I've gotten everything else. I'll go down to the Ogre Road. So did you guys want to do any personal story stuff before the end of the night? I know that we'll be ditching the train, but...
I mean, at this
seems
point,
like-
we're already 3 hours in.
Oh, we are?
Yeah. Also, I think you've been gradually slowly getting further and further away from your microphone.
Sorry. I go off to the left.
Yeah, so
sometimes.
Shell doesn't actually care about her microphone. In fact, it's kind of a nuisance for her.
It gets in the way of the screen.
Put it down then.
Position it better.
Yeah.
Fine, I
This
will.
is just like TLE. Like TLE was like, I don't want this microphone in front of my face, so he had it like 3 feet away from his face, off by his computer monitor. Like it'll get the sound.
She's been recording a lot of stuff on my Yeti. You know, that thing that can capture sound from like a mile away. So her experience with the microphone has kind of dropped or not dropped, but been tainted. I don't know.
Hey.
I don't know the phrase to work with, but like, you know, when you don't have to be in
I
front
like
of
how
the
she
mic,
took
you kind
offense to that. Where I'm trying to like even like deconstruct how that could be a thing to take offense to.
Well, he's essentially implying that I've become so used to the Yeti that I can't. It's like, no. No. I don't know what the Yeti's supposed to.
I mean, do you want to
pick up or not.
blame your bad microphone contact on being out of practice, or just be doing it on purpose? Because that's the other option.
No, it's entirely accidental. Part of it's because of my posture, probably, playing these.
Got one big chunk in the top right to discover still. 1 heart left.
I still need to find one more point of interest.
I've got 3 point of interest, 1 heart, 1 hero point, and 4 waypoints still. This is really late in a session to still have 4 waypoints to go.
It's a large zone. I thought it was going to be small because it was just very
but it's just
square
weird that I
and-
have more waypoints to go than any other category, and it's like, well, the waypoints are how you get around. So it's weird to have that be the thing that I have tons left of. Getting really close to maxing out blood magic. There's Gill Scale Pond. So is Wander tired?
No, I'm actually running the the guild trek, which is
Yes, I finally got a black lion key.
the guild trek is a special type of event you can do. Like the bounty where you have to. It's effectively a giant scavenger hunt to find 5 locations somewhere in the game, and so right now I'm running from zone to zone, grabbing things. Even how much time do we have left? We got 8 minutes left. And if you, did I go to the right place? I didn't go to the right place. I don't know. It's hard to describe, but you're effectively given an image of a location. You have to find it. Obviously, the easiest way to do it is just to warp there and cheat and use a wiki, which is what I am doing. Eventually, once we've completed more of the map, I will have you guys join me on them. But right now, I've got the I'm on the last one, and I'm in, like, one of the ultra-high level zones, so, like, you guys can't reach this anyway. But it'd be really cool to actually do this with you guys as part of the group, as opposed to maybe getting the reward? I don't actually know if you get the reward. I don't know how the guild trek works for team play. I also do not know.
Do you guys remember where the harpies were? In the, like,
yeah.
Yeah, north area.
supposed to defend the cows from the harpies. I haven't actually found a harpy yet.
Yeah, they're far to the north, and they're sort of in a back area with all of these eggs. Maybe it's the Tangleroot Hills? So it's just further to the east from where you are right now.
Bats around here. Let's see if those give me quest credit. Oh, there's a harpy. Bats do not count.
There we go.
Definitely just kind of a zone out kind of game.
Oh,
It is.
it definitely is. This is a very good game to play when you you really just want to chill out, watch some Game Grumps, and not think for a little while.
That's what you do when you play the game.
Yep. It's
Unfortunately,
satisfying.
that's a little bit of the antithesis of commentary.
Oh, absolutely. Anyway, I'm no longer trying to focus on... So part of it is, for each of the guild missions, there's a time limit, and I was just like, how the hell do I get here? How does this even work? I don't know. Let's see. Is there anything? No. None of the daily events
I think we'll
are
have
any
more
good for you
to
guys.
talk about maybe when we do some of the story quests.
Well,
that
I
are
think we had
instance.
plenty of topics to talk about. We just, at this point, we're finishing it all off. So
We're using it more as like a podcasty opportunity as opposed to talking about the quests and what we're doing, because a lot of it's killing local wildlife, fighting enemies. There are the occasional interesting missions that are unique. I think if we had done the Asura zones, it would have been pretty interesting, but we haven't. The Asura, so funny. Mm.
Just hanging out, finding harpies.
Okay.
Yeah, inevitably
Huh.
every MMO we play turns into a podcast, essentially, where we just talk about whatever, because talking about what's happening on screen is just like a nothing. I've basically just been pressing the same... I've just been walking up to enemies and then pressing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I mean, I think the real content that people play these for is eventually doing dungeons, and I mean, they
I'd like
recently
to...
introduced raids. There's the exploration aspect. I remember when I initially played through this game for the first time, just everything was so awe-inspiring, and I mean, these zones are a little bit more drab because they're in areas where the Char and the humans are currently at war. It's not like the Asura or the Sylvari areas where everything is lush and beautiful. Also, when you're not rushing to get everything done, you can actually stop and listen to what the quest givers are saying, and
I mean, this game basically barely has quest givers. I guess you technically can walk up to the heart person and talk to them.
yeah. You
Well,
can
Like,
walk
by
up-
the
default,
real-
the quest just starts on its own, though.
what I-
Almost the real ones are actually the scouts.
Yeah. What I absolutely love is, especially in towns and cities, walking by just citizenry and the conversations that they have, they're really informative, at least regarding the lore of the world and what the day-to-day travails are for individuals. And I'm just thinking they must have planned out and voice acted hundreds and hundreds of these conversations that you might not even run into over the course of the game, because they're sometimes hidden in various nooks and crannies of the world, and it's interesting when you find them. I really like that.
Might and glory.
I'm basically just
And I think-
I'm just massacring harpy eggs right now. Like, they're not even born yet, and I'm killing them.
I noticed that in this zone it was a lot of, sabotage the ogres, kill the harpies. It seems like anything that isn't human or Char, you're eliminating from the landscape.
This is up there with, like, how we talk about in D&D, like, racial alignments are stupid. The idea that everyone born of an entire species has the same, like, alignment in as far as, like, good, evil, lawful, chaotic, and everything. And, like, we're doing the same thing here. It's like, these things aren't even born yet, but we're treating them as the enemies by default. Kill them all.
Yep. One thing I always wondered about harpies is they always seem to be female.
That's like, that's basically the premise, isn't it?
Right. From the ancient Greeks, yeah, they're sirens, they're harpies, but it's just odd in a fantasy context because you have to wonder, are they hermaphroditic? Do they have some kind of weird thing where they're born with a set number of eggs and they can just replicate themselves? Do they have to...
Gotta get up there in that harpy cloaca.
Yeah, lure, like, male humans to, like, reproduce with them? I don't know. That seemed to be going on a lot in Pyre with all the human harpy love.
Yeah,
interest,
even Pyre straight up has a dedicated concept to the idea of having harpies that are also, once again, an all-female bird race, apparently. Or at least the only ones you ever see seem to be female.
Yep. Yep. I mean, they also have the whole, like, sisters. Or sisters. I mean, I suppose people really like the Amazon society concept. And, I mean, just having an all-female clan of warrioresses, it's pretty cool. But when it comes to harpies and stuff, it's like, yeah, actually, like in Legend of Zelda with the Gerudo, you're probably going to run into them at some point.
Well, I already played Breath of the Wild.
Breath of the Wild, yeah. Well, I was thinking in, like, the timeline.
Let's see, 2 teleports and 2 POIs to go. Somewhere.
Yeah, because with the Gerudo, they explain it that, yeah, one male of their kind is born every 100 years, but otherwise they just...
And then the great orgy ensues.
Oh,
Make the next
gosh.
100 years of people.
No, actually they do lure in regular Hylians.
The best waypoints
reproduce.
freaking contested.
I think
Contested waypoints are annoying.
I think in Ocarina of Time, they have some of the Gerudo gossiping about the guys that they've been with or something, I don't know. Or there's this whole thing where some of them slip out of the village to meet lovers in Hyrule and whatnot. But I don't know. So they explain it that way. But yeah, harpies because of their bird-like nature, I don't know. Though in Pyre, didn't they seem to say that the people of the Commonwealth, like the normal humans and the harpies, were at one time the same species, but then they split off?
Yeah.
The humans, like, discarded their wings or didn't want to fly anymore.
Every Supergiant game has this really interesting world that I wish I got to learn more about, because almost the world that isn't part of the game ends up being more interesting than the game itself, and the game is just kind of like teasing you.
Oh yeah, the Commonwealth, the wars, the
like,
carnage, the
Bastion had this
things.
wonderful world that you never got to see. You just got to see the aftermath of it being dead. And that was cool, but also like, aww.
Yeah, it'd be nice if
You don't like it when you
actually...
find somebody and then they turn to ash and disintegrate when you touch them?
Yeah. I love Bastion. Bastion was solid stuff.
Because that one guy made of ash.
Yeah, well.
He wasn't very solid.
The world wasn't very solid either.
No.
Every Supergiant game, I feel like almost deserves a sequel or...
Prequel?
Yeah.
Where you see what the world is that it's in?
Yeah, because, like...
Yeah, surprisingly, every time they make a new game, they completely just throw everything out the window and make a new world from scratch.
Well, apparently what they do, is, their entire, like, strategy is actually to pick a different employee and make the game that employee wants to make.
Huh.
Yeah.
There's an idea.
Though their blog post said they throw them into a pit and have them fight over it. But
I mean, there's only so many people that work there, right?
Yeah, I think it's like a small... Bastion was made by, I think, 7 people?
Jesus. I guess you had a higher chance of them using your idea at that point.
Yeah, because Gen Z was their only artist for all of Bastion. It was one lady that made all that.
Did you have Rookie shave his mustache?
Nope. Wander told him that he loved it.
People keep doing that and they're monsters.
So he will actually shave it off?
He will shave it off, I think. Yes.
Wow.
You will permanently alter him because you're shitty. Like, how dare you?
I kind of almost wish it went the reverse. If you didn't tell him to shave it off, it would grow longer.
Well, that's
There
the
we
kind of thing
go.
we would do.
Now I need one
Unfortunately,
waypoint
Rookie
and
was-
one... Oh, they're both down here. Oh, they're both down there. I'm about to be done.
Yay.
Yay.
Unfortunately, Rookie was the second person we sent off, so it was kind of like, well, bye.
That was the case
You
for
were-
me too, and I'm like, no, I like that character, but also like I'd want make sure he goes free.
The game literally embodies the phrase "kill your darlings."
Well, the game has a genius concept where you can only liberate one of your top 3 people.
Yeah, which makes perfect sense, but it sucks because
Which means you have to use everybody over the course of the game unless you're losing
Yeah.
constantly.
yeah, it gets around the classic
Zone
RPG
complete.
problem where it's like
There we go.
Yay.
it's the classic RPG problem where it's just like, so you have these characters, you're only going to use the ones that you actually like, and that's
JK, you have
that's-
to use these people.
Yep.
You thought you only had to use the people you like, but now they're gone. Forever. You'll never see them again. Wish them well. You'll never... They're gone, that's it. They disappeared to the nether.
I actually, early on in the game, I was just getting flashbacks to the old 70s movie, Logan's Run. And I was just thinking to myself, what if this is all a farce? What if when they go into that pool of water, they're really just being incinerated and you're sending them to their deaths, and it was all
And
a
then
lie.
somebody else is just writing a fake letter about what happened to them.
I don't know. No, that was just a very, very, very early on thing.
I mean, that would be
you-
cool. You like eventually everybody makes it up there, and you realize everybody's in prison, and you have to like deal with it. But like real prison as opposed to like prison land.
I mean, have you ever... I think they might even be making a new movie for Logan's Run because they're rehashing absolutely everything in existence.
Oh yeah, everyone sucks.
Yeah, Logan's Run was essentially a society where if you... I think on your 32nd birthday, you had to take part in some kind of weird ritual thing where you're supposedly sent into a higher plane of existence. Except in reality, they were just incinerating the population because I suppose that was their form of healthcare. Like, if no one got old, then no one would have ailments or suffer, kind of thing. It was also a way of containing the population. I don't know. And then it was weird because the main character and the main female protagonist that he is able to escape with find like an old man in the ruins of Washington, D.C. with a bunch of cats. And he's...
I'm so close to hitting 39. And I can finally use all these 39 items that I've had this whole time. That never go away. Trying to
fun.
stock up on salvaging kits.
Yep,
Yeah.
salvage and kits are nice.
Yeah, where is that?
Oh, a scepter and a staff are probably different weapons.
Yeah, scepters are one-handed, staves are two.
Oops.
Yep, scepters you can actually mix with other weapons.
So I actually don't... Yeah, out of all these level 39 items I have an axe, a scepter, and a warhorn. So none of them are direct upgrades for my current moveset.
Nope. Things you probably want are daggers, actually. Daggers are your go-to lifesteal
Daggers are really
weapons.
good for stealing health and bleeding, inflicting bleeding.
I believe I was using the staff because it allowed me to try to actually tag enemies.
Yeah. Stuff's pretty good.
It's basically mandatory if I wanted to get any experience during like the crazy fights that were happening.
Yep.
Alright, well I guess with that, the zone's over. Oh, someone sent me mail. Oh, that's the mail saying, "You finished the place, congrats! We're all very proud of you." By which I mean we're not real. And nobody knows you did this thing. Yeah, I'm actually about to hit. I'm about to hit 20% world completion.
Yeah, it's not actually that hard to max it out.
No.
There's like.
It must look
There's
so
small-
weird to have this map actually get maxed out as being like a series of actual maps as opposed to being a vague sketch.
Yeah,
Yeah.
one of my characters has the entire world maxed out, and one of
It
my
must
other
look
ones...
like weirdly Tetris-like, right? Because they're all weird square shapes that are outlined
Yeah.
by mountains.
It is a
Yep, they all
little
have
funky
mountains.
looking.
It's like the issue with the World of Warcraft, where like the zones look way better. The zones look natural when you look at them from like the continent view, but then you zoom in on them, it's like, why is there a convenient mountain range in all these places?
To hem it in, yeah.
Yeah, that even in this map, they tried to sketch it out to make it look a little more natural and random, but even then, you can clearly see there's a series of straight lines going up and down and left and right everywhere.
Yep. I'm hoping with like modern-ish tech that it starts to get a little easier to like have just giant maps kind of.
Well, one thing I wondered is, let's go say you have a grassland or a plain, and when you step over a certain point, you're in a different zone. Do they just dislike the fact that it has to load
There are
in,
some games
so-
that actually do it really smoothly
Okay.
with instancing. So like you'll pass like a point, kind of like an area transition, and that will be like the distinct area, but it's not noticeable because there's no loading screen. There might be like a little bit of a hitch, but games have gotten substantially better at hiding it.
Well, thanks
so
for
that
coming by,
nobody
everybody.
knows.
It's about time for me to get off and see if I can finish Observer.